Hello, everyone. Welcome to GMAT Club's MBA Spotlight Fair featuring top business schools from across the globe. My name is Nikhil and I'm a GMAT Club moderator. Today, I'm delighted to be hosting Simon Business School, University of Rochester, here to give us a great insight on what the MBA program is like at Simon. We've got Andrew and Julie, who will be taking us through the presentation, after which we'll go through some question and answers. During the presentation, if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat box. The Q&A will also happen later on Zoom, so make sure to join the Zoom session right after this one. The link to attend the Zoom session will be posted in the chat box. Also, please give this video a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. With that, I will hand it over to Andrew and Julie.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Nikhil. It's a pleasure to be with everyone. We're so glad that you're joining us. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hopefully you can see the presentation okay. And it's really a pleasure and a joy to be with you today. And just as a quick point of introduction, my name is Andrew Brayda, Director of Admissions here at the Simon Business School at the University of Rochester. And my colleague Julie and I have worked together for quite some time, but I'll let her introduce herself.
Thanks, Andrew. Yes, I'm Julie Sadwick, Director of Recruitment. Andrew just got a promotion that he forgot to tell you about. He's a Senior Director of Admissions, so congrats to Andrew. But yes, Andrew and I have been in partnership for many years here, and we love what we do, and hopefully you'll see that throughout the presentation.
Yeah. Well, we're very, very proud to be able to bring this presentation and talk a little bit about the Simon MBA experience. And we like to start off highlighting a few of the things that our students have said about us and why our students have decided to have told us, right, have told us why they decided to attend Simon. And we're going to go through many of these points today during the presentation, but we wanted you to get firsthand take on the student perspective, and then join us later where we'll have a student available as well to talk a little bit about their experience. We are very, very proud to be the #1 most diverse MBA program in the US. We were recently ranked this, we earned this ranking. It was the US News and World Report ranked the top 50 ranked MBA programs, and we were the #1 most diverse MBA program, which we're extremely proud of. This looks at a variety of factors, and predominantly the representation of historically underrepresented groups in the US. But we're going to talk about diversity broadly today as well in terms of our global community, and we'll talk about all that. But we're extremely proud of this most recent ranking that Simon earned, and this, you'll see how this kind of weaves in and out throughout our presentation today, and how we talk about our diverse community here at Simon.
This is probably one of our proudest moments. Like, you know, the proudest ranking that we have is the #1 most diverse program.
Yes, we like to highlight that first, and then go into some of the other top rankings, of course, that we have at Simon. There are some fantastic academic, curricular rankings that we're very proud of. We were just recently ranked number 25 by Bloomberg Business Week in their most recent ranking. We've been ranked extremely high for our learning environment at Simon, and for finance and economics, as high as #4 and 5 in the world. So some fantastic rankings that we're extremely proud of here at Simon, and have been acknowledged for our program. We've also been ranked as high as #3 in the US for return on investment. So essentially, what is the percentage of increase for pre-MBA salary to post-MBA salary? And our students are doing quite well post-MBA. We also like to talk a lot about, the consideration of cost of living and living expenses during the MBA program. We'll talk about that a little bit later in terms of the Rochester area. But really ROI, and this is a huge point that you should be considering when you're looking at business schools. What is the output? What is the return on your investment for your MBA experience? And many of you are thinking about career changes and making a jump or enhancing your career. And we're very proud that the Simon MBA prepares you extremely well for you in moving forward in your career. We've also been ranked #1 for percent women in an MBA, percent pay gap for women in the MBA program. And so very, very proud of that, as well as number 2 for salary and percent increase for our women in the MBA program. We also, Julie will talk a little bit next about the class profile, but one of the highest percentages of women in an MBA program. And so diversity also takes on, obviously different levels here at Simon, and extremely proud of Simon being recognized as number 1 in the U.S. for pay gap percentage and percent increase for women in an MBA program.
Okay, thanks, Andrew. So many of you are probably wondering, okay, how large is Simon? What's the class size? We typically enroll anywhere between 105 students to 125 students. That's our average each year. This past year is 113. As you see, we're very strong on international population as well. And we were represented in this class by, I think it was 23 countries. Which is fantastic. And so we're very proud of our diversity in terms of the US historically underrepresented US population, but we also are very proud of the representation that we have from around the world. And as Andrew mentioned, 42% of our class is women, and that's been pretty consistent over the past few years. And average years of work experience. Now, keep in mind, these are averages. So I don't want you to think that, you have to, get to that 4.8. So we do enroll those that have less, and we do enroll those that have more. So typically for average years of work experience or years of work experience, it's usually anywhere from 2 years of work experience up to 13 or so. You'll see the middle ranges for GPA, as well as GMAT. So please keep in mind, we do have a few outliers of that, but we'll talk more about that in just a moment. But also with our class enrollment, we break them up into 2 different cohorts so that the core classes are no more than typically 60 students. And then the elective courses can be as small as 20 students. And in fact, a lot of times it's very common for an elective course to be 20, 30, 40 students, which is wonderful because it really lends well to a very dynamic and robust discussion within the classroom, and the ability to really get to know the professor very well, them to get to know you, and then to get to know your peers as well. Now, Simon is well known for being a very integrated student experience. We care not only about the academics, obviously you're going back to business school to learn a lot, to sit in the classroom and really learn about data and analytics and how to manage teams and all of that. All of that is crucial, but a huge part of the program is also your career search. You're going back to get a better job, get a job that's paying more money for you. So our Career Center team, and we'll talk about that in just a moment as well, is a very big part of your experience, and they're very much involved in your entire experience for the duration of your time here, and actually even before you come. Co-curricular activities are also important. The clubs, case competitions, if you choose to participate in those, vision consulting, and again, we'll talk about those in just a moment. Next slide. Okay, now don't let this scare you. This is the first year of the program, and yes, it's intense. We're on a mini semester system, so typically the classes are held, within a 7-week time frame. And it's a bit crazy. We do start in July, so we do start earlier than most programs, which is also intentional. We want you to get a head start on the classes. We want you to also get a head start on the career recruiting process and be in front of recruiters earlier than most business schools. And we prepare you for that entire process. So for fall A, actually you can start taking your elective courses in fall B, which is awesome. To be able to take up to 4 electives in your first year is highly unusual for a 2-year MBA program. And we intentionally did that as well, so that it lends well to, while you're going through the recruiting process and you're interviewing with companies, you actually have a lot of content to be able to talk about. Plus, when you go into your internship between the 2 years, we hope that by you taking some of the classes that pertain to the specialization of interest or your career of interest, will really help you to stand out while you're in that internship and help you to secure that full-time offer. So yes, the first year is a little crazy, but it's meant to be so, because you really will learn so much through that first year. Did I miss anything, Andrew? That's quite a one. Quite a.
Well, I think it's, I think it's also probably important to note that there is a required internship between the first and second year. There's opportunities for students to waive out of that if they have entrepreneurial goals, et cetera. But that's obviously huge for especially our international student population. And there is this project course as well that gives you experiential learning. So there's a curriculum component to the experiential learning aspects of Simon, which we'll talk a little bit about later.
Yeah. And Simon, through an onboarding process, we'll discuss that in a few minutes, but you will be able to choose a specialization. The specialization is designed specifically to help you to directly pivot into that career of interest. So all of the courses under each specialization are, intentionally arranged to really help you to go into that area. So, as you see, we've got multiple different specializations under finance, marketing, and consulting. So you would choose one of those areas to specialize in. We also have a general management specialization that's not listed on here. So for those of you that do not fall in one of these buckets for specialization, you can actually go the general management route. What's also nice is that you can get multiple minors. So ideally, one specialization, multiple minors is usually what our students will get. So say, for instance, you wanted to go into brand management, but you actually wanted to also get a minor and kind of delve a little bit into finance and maybe accounting. You can certainly do that. And the minors consist of 4 courses each minor, and some are actually overlapping. So it is easy to get multiple minors. Okay, Simon, I want you to remember this, is that we were the very first business school to launch a STEM MBA designation across any discipline. So even marketing. So any specialization that you go into, you can get a STEM designated degree. We did this because, first of all, it was easy for us to do this because we've long been into data, long before it was even popular. Now it's the buzzword, everyone was talking about it. But our dean at the time, as well as our faculty, worked really hard to get the credentials so that we could allow any student to get a STEM designated MBA. What this allows you to do is to have an additional credential beyond just the MBA. So it signals to employers that you have very strong data analytics skills. And there are, as Andrew is showing now here, there are so many opportunities in the US, and you're hearing all about STEM. There's so many different jobs that are actually, that are looking for these skills, and managers in particular. So what this allows for international students in particular is for you to actually be in the US for up to 3 years on the F1 visa. You have 3 chances to go for your H-1B visa lottery versus just 1. So, you come to the US, it's a big risk for an employer to actually take you on and hire you if they think they may actually lose you after a year. This way, it not only helps you, but it helps the employer to know they can keep you for up to 3 years in that STEM designated job without having to worry about losing you after just a year. So this is amazing news. We did it so that we could really help our international students stand out in the recruiting pool. And now we've seen, a lot of schools are finally getting on board, but it's amazing. We're very excited about that. And it's something that we're very proud of.
And we like to say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, right? As the first STEM MBA program in the US, it's nice to see other schools finally catching on. But I think another way, Julie talked a little bit about, work permissions and hiring and these kinds of things post MBA. And we think it's really important to highlight our career management center. And I think more broadly, being a smaller, very personalized program, what you really will get from the Simon Career Management Center, the Bennett Career Management Center, is a very supportive community, very supportive environment that will help you every step of the way on your career search. And I think what's really unique is that there is a roadmap. There's a bit of a roadmap that we have planned out for you for every step of the way at Simon. You will start even before you arrive at Simon. Once a student commits to enroll in March, the year as your year of enrolling, you will start working with your career advisors. You'll start working with the career team to develop your career plan. And many students have an idea exactly what they want to do, but we put you through a career exploration series as well to help you get ready and kind of develop your career action plan. We have a really supportive community, as I mentioned. Then once you enroll, of course, through networking with alumni and what we call our career action teams to help support you in your career search each step of the way until you find your internship and hopefully secure your full-time job offer. Just wanted to highlight some of our career outcomes, and I'm really extremely proud of the outcomes for this past year. And you can see some of our graduate areas by function, but overall, 93% of our class placed within 3 months after graduation. Again, every school has to report their statistics based on 3 months after graduation. We were very proud to have the number 5 for the highest employment percentage for MBA programs, and extremely proud for our post MBA earning potential. And so the compensation package for our MBA graduates, which was up over, I think it was $13,000 over last year, Julie, or 16,000. It's just a fantastic results for our MBA grads. And as you can see, some of the main areas where students will end up in finance and marketing consulting. This varies from year to year, of course. In some years you'll see consulting at the top or marketing. And so it does depend on the student's interest and how those roles are defined at those companies. But some fantastic companies represented for our Simon grads, top Fortune 500 companies in the world where our students will place in the US. And really some tremendous company here with our corporate partners.
Now, experiential learning is a huge part of our program, and it should be a part of any program. As Andrew had talked about, there is a consulting practicum course in the first year. So that's, hands-on experience with real companies pertaining, the project is pertaining to your specialization and your career of interest post MBA. There are also other opportunities to get hands-on experience. We have a Simon Vision Consulting, which is an opt-in program that we work with local and regional companies who are either smaller or they're startup companies and they can't quite afford to hire a consultant. And they love Simon students because we provide pro bono work to those companies. And it's great because it also provides our students, any student from any of our programs, to opt in to kind of hand select the projects they want to work on. So if you wanted to get additional experience in marketing, you could work with a local company directly with them with the guidance of a professor or a full-time staff member. And you can actually put that experience on your resume, but it does allow you to get as much experience in terms of the practical side of that you want. We also have courses designed to focus on social impact, urban impact, social entrepreneurship, as you'll see. Lots of courses pertaining to analytics. We are very much a data school, as I talked about earlier. We also have a management and communication sequence course, which is part of the core curriculum as well. So you're learning how to evaluate and manage the data and make better business decisions, but you also need to be able to articulate that to your teams. And your teams within your organization may not understand the data as much as you do. So you actually need to, we teach you how to present that so that it's an effective presentation so they can understand why you're making the business decisions that you are. Another thing that's important to note is that we do have lots of international experiences, international immersions. You can actually do up to 4 international immersions during your time at Simon. They typically range from 10 to 12 days in duration. They're during the breaks. And it's an opportunity for you to get credit-bearing courses underway in this exciting kind of a time for you to go abroad and work on project work before you leave. And then sometimes you present to the companies in those countries and learn how to do business in those countries. It's also fun because you're traveling with some of your favorite peers. You can go and look at different cultural, areas in those countries. They are some of the most amazing parts of an MBA program. And we are very excited to go back to that now. We're actually doing them in March again. So very excited to have our students go through. They have an opportunity to choose between 3 of them. Again, those are optional. You do not have to partake in those, but it's a very exciting component of the program. We also have a study abroad program. So in the second year of the program, if you wish to go abroad, you can do that in the spring term. So it would be in the spring A term, and you could go abroad if you wish to do that with one of our partner schools in another country. Okay, that's that slide.
Well, we are also, extremely. I think we're uniquely positioned in the Rochester area as well, and have we believe we have an obligation to contribute back to our community, and our students come in to the MBA and our master's programs with a lot of excitement about giving back to the local community, and so we try and facilitate that through a number of different activities. We have annual activities that we run every year, such as Habitat for Humanity and Food Link, and our MMLA collaboration, which is a University of Rochester-based organization, and just a number of opportunities for students to be involved, volunteering, and giving back to the local community. And again, given our commitment as a university to be involved in the public good and giving back to the community around us, we try and find unique ways for our students to do that. And really, you can make an impact as a Simon student. And obviously, Julie talked about some of the project-based coursework. There's lots of clubs. We have over 30 different social, cultural, and volunteer clubs and organizations that you can be a part of. And extremely proud of our students for joining local organizations where they can really make an impact on the community.
Simon is incredibly collaborative. It is not going to be a competitive environment. This is not who we are. If you're looking for a school where you want to feel the support, you will at Simon. And that's why I feel like it's so ingrained in those that we enroll that they want to give back in so many ways. They want to help their peers, but they also want to help this community as a whole, not just within Simon or even within the university. They want to help the entire community that they live in. So this is all very important.
Mm-hmm. And Julie talked a little bit about the consulting projects, right, that are looking within the community, and it's a really unique, opportunities, again, curricularly through the academic curriculum where you're getting experiential learning, but also co-curricularly where you can develop some of your business acumen and you enhance your business skills through some of these consulting projects. And there's a variety of projects depending on business plan, financial, data analytics projects, to marketing, growth plans, et cetera. So lots of different opportunities there. We also have our venture fund, which is very popular. We have our Simon Finance and Investment Club, our Simon Venture Fund, where students will actually put real money to work, and great opportunities through that club. So wanted to just highlight them. They put on a number of events every year. Our Shark Tank event, which is very popular, and some of our other networking events as well.
I think it's almost $2 million too now.
Yes, yeah, $2 million, right, Julie? And again, coming back to our diversity, and we do have a center of excellence, a diversity, equity, and inclusion center of excellence, with basically the focus on sort of leading the discussion around these topics and education around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it's facilitated quite a bit through our clubs and in collaboration with our clubs. And this is where our students can really learn how to engage with those of other backgrounds, diverse backgrounds, and it really is a unique community where you can, like Julie said, it's very collaborative, and we want you to be able to learn and grow from your classmates. And in our diverse environment, it gives you an opportunity to learn about how business is done, and through the lens of a variety of different individuals. Awesome. Well, I know we're winding down here, and just a couple other quick points we wanted to touch on are certainly scholarships and financial aid. These are important topics, so we wanted to make sure we shared a little bit about our perspective and how we approach the scholarship and financial aid process here at Simon. All of our scholarships are merit-based, so based on your application that you submit for admission. So we'll evaluate your candidacy both on an absolute basis, so looking at your profile, your strengths that you bring, but also on a relative basis, right? Looking at the entire applicant pool at the time of your application. We also have a non-US cosigner loan option facilitated through the university for international students. So essentially, if there's any gap remaining between scholarship and tuition, the admissions committee will award you the non-US cosigner loan option to cover that remaining cost of tuition. And most of our international students use the combination of scholarship and that loan to cover their tuition costs during the program. Obviously, then there are living expenses and other fees and those sorts of things to be mindful of. But in terms of your tuition, we have some fantastic resources that are available to you as a domestic or international student. And it's the same process for all of our candidates, regardless of residency.
As you probably know, Andrew and I can talk for a long time. We could go for forever. We could talk to you forever. So you do have chances to listen to us more. We offer a host of webinars on a regular basis. We also have the opportunity for you to get some feedback on your candidacy. You'll see that there. Start your application. It's all online. It's a very easy process. Or reach out to us at our general email account at admissions@simon.rochester.edu. We would love to continue the communication with you and hope to hear from you as well. So we're going to be on a Zoom call after this, and we're looking forward to connecting. All right. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us.
Andrew and Julie, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and sharing the information. We are sure this provided our audience with valuable information about Simon Business School. If our audience still have any questions, remember you can join Andrew and Julie in the Zoom session. The link for that is now being posted in the chat. You can also stay tuned on YouTube for the next business school presentation. Again, thank you so much, Andrew and Julie. We hope to see you in the Zoom session.